Hello, this is a video to go through the assignments, the weekly assignments that you're going to have throughout the entire quarter. They're going to be the same type of assignments, so I'm just going to go through week 1 and then I'll scroll down to the week 4 for an example of the exam. Before that though, make sure you're in your account, go ahead and go to your account and update your notification settings so that you get notifications whenever anything changes. I'll be sending out messages. The due dates are not going to change. They are set for the entire quarter for all of the assignments. But make sure that you have your notifications set in order for you to be successful um, to go along with your study schedule. You should have a study schedule. So here we go, going through week 1, which are the assignments that we're going to have every single week. You're going to have lecture videos and quizzes. Now, for the first week, I have already made a post here for you of the lecture notes and the workbook activity. But after week 1, you need to get that from the workbook itself that you need to buy at the bookstore. The lecture notes start on page 119. So when I click on lecture 1.1 and quiz, go through and scroll down and watch the video. These videos are made by a different instructor actually. You will then take notes for every single one of these, again starting on page 119. Then take a 15-minute quiz. Please note that you have 2 attempts to take this quiz, so I'm hopeful and pretty confident that you guys are going to get good grades on the quizzes. So you're going to get one of each, one quiz for each section. So there will be 2 or 3 sections per week. Next, we have our workbook activity. I'll click into that. Now, the workbook that you're going to get at the bookstore will have activities there. You won't see this workbook activity group 1, group 2, but you've been separated into 3 groups, and each person will be automatically put into a group, so you won't see this blue options here necessarily. But here is the assignment. The discussion is for you by Sunday to make a post and reply. There's going to be 2 or 3 exercises, usually 3 here if that's how many sections we're going to cover. And what you need to do is title your post to make sure you have the correct, okay, here is the activity 1.1, activity number 1, and I'm going to do exercises 1 and 2. The reason this is important so that other classmates, when they're looking through the discussion, do not duplicate the same exercise. Each person has to do 3 exercises that have not been done yet. It is up to you which ones you want to complete, but first person to complete one of these is the one that gets credit for it, and the second person or the next person needs to do a different exercise from the workbook activity. You can post your solutions to each exercise in one of 2 ways. Type up your explanation using the Where's tool. This is best if you're solving equations, because then you can annotate and write, this is what I did in this step to get to the answer. Or what you can do is also write out your work in your workbook itself, then take a picture and upload it as your post. And that's really good for when you need to fill in tables in your activities or even graphs. Graph it, draw it, and then post the graph to the solution or to the discussion. And you must reply to at least one classmate. If your classmate did everything correct, then encourage them, and then if your classmate did something incorrectly, according to this paragraph, then kindly help them fix it, suggest how they can fix it. The table of exercises from the workbook activity is listed here, so you'll do 1 from 1.1, 1 from 1.2, one of these boxes, so this one has 2 exercises, this one has only number 3, and then 1 exercise from 1.3, 3 distinct posts. At the very bottom here, you're going to click reply, do one of the exercises, click post, do another exercise, click post, do a third exercise, click post as well. And that's how this discussion works. Let's go back home. I'll leave it up to you to read the details of the directions. Please read carefully. Then we have a discussion about Q&A. Just there's questions that come up, and I made a weekly discussion for you to post a question by Saturday evening, and then by Monday answer somebody's question. We should be a group that works together, that helps each other. And if you don't have any questions for a particular week, then just answer two. Please note, two people's questions. And it's okay if you answer something that has already been answered, if you show a different way of fixing it, or answering the question. So that's Q&A. Again, I'm going to go back to home here. And then after that, there is the homework. There are each section will have a homework exercises. I'm going to click on 1.1. And if you register for XYZ homework already for our class, then you'll get this list of exercises where you'll basically just enter in all of the answers into the boxes here provided. There'll be different types of exercises that you'll go through. Some of these are short answer, multiple choice. Most of them actually are just box answers. Enter in the answer into the box. And so you don't need to leave Canvas at all. All of your homework is within Canvas. Click the homework and you will get to the homework right away. So we went through lecture quizzes. We went through workbook activity discussion, Q&A discussion, and then homework. Here, one more thing. Please do the homework only through Canvas. Don't go through XYZ website. That will mess up your gradebook. This is speaking from experience from a previous quarter here. Only do work through Canvas. Do not go through XYZ websites. Though there will be an extension, sometimes relating math to your world discussion, like in week 2. And I'll make a couple of posts, and your job is to reply to those posts, and then reply to a classmate and give them encouragement or new insight there. That is for you to relate math to your world discussion. So each one is the same. There'll be different posts that I will make, and you are to reply to one of those two posts, one of the two threads, and come up with examples. That's you searching the internet, coming up with examples from your personal life, and then posting those. That's one type of extension that you can come across. And then the other type of extension is, scroll down here to one of those growth mindset activities. So like discussion, deliberate practice, what it is and why you need it. And there'll be a video that, or an article or a video that you'll need to read, and then respond, make a post, and then respond to a classmate as well within this type of discussion. So there is discussions that will be growth mindset discussions here and there will always also be relating your math to the real world, giving examples of where that math concept is used in the real world. I think the last thing to cover would be something like in week 4, which is the review and the test. The review for 1.1 and 1.2, or sorry, for chapters 1 and 2, is part of, or it's in the category of homework. So this is not a test, but there's plenty of exercises that you should go through to prepare yourself for the test. Okay, there's plenty of them, 33 in this first one here. The numbers and variables change for each person, so each person will have slightly different review, but so the numbers might be jumbled or different numbers, but the types of exercises are exactly the same. So let me go back to the exams here and read this. This is incredibly important. So in order to turn in your test, you must click the submit button when you're all done. It's at the very bottom of your test. Once you've submitted your test, please do not click the back button. It will give you a 0 on the test. That is crazy, I know, but it'll give you a 0. So please stay within your website tab until you complete the entire test within one sitting. There will be exercises where you're actually going to have to upload your work. So let me go into exam 1, for instance, here. There'll be a couple of exercises. So click continue. 2 hours start. So here are exercises. I'll go through each one of them. Not I'll scroll through each one of them here. You'll see some exercises here. You'll go through, and then at the very bottom, I believe, there will be some there's no submission button, because what you need to do is you need to take a picture of the work that you did step by step on solving this equation, for example, and then upload that by going, putting it onto your computer, and then choosing that picture file by going to choose file and finding it wherever it is in your computer. And you need to do this without leaving the tab, right? Please do not close, don't click back, because if you leave the test, even though there's time left, it will give you a 0. It's a weird thing they're trying to work out. Please don't do that. So that's how the test works. There's 22 exercises here in this first test that you can go through, and then there's exam 2 and exam 3 later on in the quarter. So we went through all of the types of exercises here, types of assignments actually that you have every single week. You'll have lecture quizzes, you'll have workbook activities, discussion, Q&A discussion. Sometimes you'll have extensions like relating it to real world or growth mindset discussion, and then you'll have your homework. Finally, you'll have your tests, exam 1, 2, and 3. All of the due dates are preset. Make sure that you have a good study schedule, and at the end there, when we get there, time does fly, you'll take your final review and then final exam, and that's already been scheduled as well. Okay? If there's any questions, please don't hesitate to message me through Canvas and through your inbox here. But I think that covers all of the types of assignments. Enjoy, and again, if there's any questions, please let me know.